welcome to Kaki's vlog. I'm sorry I ran like 9 minutes late, but um, I just closed shop and I thought to keep to my promise and have this live. So, welcome and good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching from. I'm gonna keep this short because I know that some of us have things to do. I also have to call it a night, but regardless of that, you're welcome to my live. So basically, this live is just going to show you the ropes on how to apply to teach in Japan, like I said. The steps are very, very simple, but like I also hinted in the last video, you will need to do a lot of reading. You will need to check your emails a lot. So if you're with your phone right now, and if anyone who is not here now, who was to be here, who wished to be here, they can always watch the live recording and the stream. So basically, all you need to do is go on to border link. The spelling is BORDERLINK, border link, and then the logo is green. Go to border link and you will see that it's a dispatch company. By dispatch, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a mailing company. No, dispatch companies in Japan and in China, I reckon so. They are companies that are like recruitment companies. They are the ones that get to dispatch teachers to different schools. So if it's private, if it's a government school, if it's a higher institution, these dispatch companies are responsible for taking different teachers to different schools. So it is now your choice to make your research about the community in Japan or the city or the village you want to stay and you want to teach from. So transportation is easily accessible, so you also need to do your research and um find out more about these dispatch companies. But this dispatch company that I'm talking about is the one that I used when I was making my application, and I'm going to call out the word again. It is BORDERLINK. I'm going to call out the word again. So you can type on your phone, you can type on your computer, BORDERLINK. So Borderlink is the name of this dispatch company. It is a recruitment company, like I said. It is not necessarily um, a, a mailing company. No, they are responsible for recruiting teachers, training teachers, and taking them to different schools in Japan, if that makes any sense. So if you're the type that wants to teach in a high school, if you're the type that wants to teach in a primary school, they're called homeroom teachers. So home teachers are basically teachers that are in charge of that stream, that year group. They're responsible for teaching and some administrative work as well. So like I said, head on to that website. When you head on to that website, you're going to read out a couple of information there, and you will see where it points you or it directs you to where you're supposed to apply, register to apply. Just follow the instructions, right? Follow the instructions and register to apply, to ask for your full name, your identification, where you come from, where you would like to teach, your qualifications, and then when that registration or that application gets to them, they are going to reach out to you and say, yes, we've received your application and you should hold on for our next response, which might be your interview, right? And so your interview is basically them knowing about you, having a chat with you to see that you know what you want to do, because I'm giving out this information for free. I'm aware people charge for this, but I know people are not aware of this dispatch company, and so I'm simplifying it for you. The rest is for you to go and do your research and follow up if you're interested in applying, right? So basically, the interview process is about them knowing about you. They're going to set the time. So you need to set your own time to the time in Japan. So if you're in Nigeria, if you're in Ghana, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Portugal, wherever you are, set your time to coincide with the time that you're given. They'll ask you to choose a time that's favorable. You choose a time, and they're going to have the interview via Skype with you. So it's necessary for you to get a Skype account. Get a Skype account, familiarize yourself with how to use Skype, put your CV in order, ensure that, even if you didn't have any teaching experience before, you know, you are ready to make your CV look like, okay, I have some transferable skills like customer service, and you have some soft skills as well, like communication, responsibility, you're conversant with Microsoft tools like the PowerPoint, Excel, Word, and the likes, SharePoint, what have you. You need to familiarize yourself with this because we are in a tech age and you're going to be using these resources to teach, right? Even if you're a teaching assistant, which you will be, because you might meet teachers there that have been there before you, that have been there years before you, so you have to learn under the ropes. So even if you've been teaching in your country for like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is build experience. So like I was talking about the interview, right? You are going to ensure that you do a lot of listening when the interviewer is talking to you, right? They're going to ask you if you're ready to do a class, like teach a class. So it depends. If you want to teach a class on the spot, it's left to you. If you want to prepare, they're going to give you time to prepare. In my opinion, in my case, I did it on the spot. I didn't want to do another round of waiting and coming. I just wanted to do it and get over with it. So if you're the kind that is brave enough, confident of, yourself, you're confident, and you know that you can ace the interview by having an on-the-spot class, go ahead and have the on-the-spot class. So thank you for those of you that are joining me on this live. So this live is basically talking about how you can apply to Borderlink Japan to get a teaching job. So if you're just joining me, that is basically what I'm talking about. Hello, Gerardo Hernandez. Hello, Anna Kay. Hello, Hanamote, Dark Angel. Everyone, hello. And yeah, it's nice to meet you all. So wherever you're watching me from, this live is basically talking about how to get a job, a teaching job in Japan. Hi, Anna. How to get a teaching job in Japan. So even if you've been a teacher before, or you want to get started into teaching, right? This is your opportunity. Okay, my name is Sharon, but the name of my YouTube channel is Kaki's Vlog. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, if you want to have more opportunities, like if you're looking for job opportunities and you're serious about it, this live is trying to put people through how to apply to teach in Japan, if that makes any sense at all. So go ahead to subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Like, share, comments. My channel is basically about opportunities for people, talking about children, the family, how to just have and coexist in the world as responsible people, down to our lifestyle habits and etc etc. So like I was saying, I'm trying to make this short, so I'm going to compress this information. This live is trying to help people move to Japan. How? Through teaching. This live I'm doing right now is to help people with information on how to apply to teach in Japan, right? So the name once again of this dispatch company, the dispatch company in this sense is not a mailing company, it is a recruitment company. They are the ones that will recruit you from wherever you are. So if you're in Japan, if you're in China, if you're in Spain, if you're in Madagascar, if you're in South Africa, if you're in Jamaica, type on your phone or type on your laptop or whatever you're using right now, BORDERLINK, BoardLink. So when you get on that website, you're going to see a bunch of information really telling you or teaching you or giving you information about what they do, the times of resumption and admission into schools in Japan. So it is now left for you to choose the time you feel you will be available to move to Japan. Note that this whole process takes a year. And by a year, I mean if you start your application right now, if they're receiving applications, it's going to take you this time next year. So this is 31st of October, right? It's going to take you approximately a year for you to finish your whole application process, orientation process, because after your interview, you're going to hear from them, right? So it's vital that you check your email every time. It is important. It is important you check your email. It is important you check your spam. It is important you read up on the threads of information, and it is important you keep correspondence of every single information you receive. All right, so basically after you've done your interview and they've gotten back to you, there's going to be an exchange of a lot of documents. So I think that's the documentation process where, they're asking for your certificates, your qualifications, your passports. And if you've not gotten a passport, try and get a passport. I mean, this live is for people who want to move, and I do not know who's going to watch this video. I do not know where this video is going to go. But if you're watching and you feel that you want to seize opportunity of this opportunity, this is a good time to do so. Try and get your international passports, and try to see if you can explore this opportunity. Hi to those joining me. Hi to those people that are watching this live. My channel's name is Kaki's Vlog, and I'm Sharon, by the way. It's nice to have you on this live with me. I'm talking about how to move to Japan. So I talked about the application process. I also talked about the interview process and what you'll be doing in the interview. It is important that you speak um, clearly. It is important that you speak audibly. It is important that you do not rush your words when you're speaking during your interview. It is very important. I will be having different lives to show and teach people about these different dispatch companies that will be hiring teachers from around the world to come over to Japan to teach. It is your duty to read up more on these dispatch companies. And the whole process, in my opinion, is free. Excuse me. It is free. I did mine free. I did everything. I did the research. I applied the registration. Every single thing I did was by myself, right? So, as I was saying, where did I stop now? Where did I stop? Yeah, so the documentation process is basically an exchange, they're asking for lots of documents from you, your school certificates, your university certificates. It is not compulsory that you have a master's or a second degree. It's not compulsory you have a PGC. If you have a BSc, you speak well. Like I was talking about speaking audibly, you do not need to rush your words. So if you're a fast speaker, you speak fastly, you speak quickly. You need to also tone it down. You need to understand that they need to hear you. They need to know and understand what you're speaking, because you're inversely going to be speaking to children who do not understand English, and they will need to hear what you're speaking. They will need to understand what you're speaking. Basically, like how I speak, I try to emphasize my words so that I don't rush my words. I'm not a fast speaker. And so I tend to emphasize on my words. I tend to take my time with my words so people can hear me, people can understand, right? So for people who have been teachers, you know that you've taught before. I'm going to give you some tidbits, right? Alongside the fact that you shouldn't be fast with your words, you need to enunciate your words. You need to have inflection in your words. I'll give you an instance. If you're talking about verbs, you want to teach verbs, you need to understand what verbs are. A verb is an action word, it's a doing word. An example is talking, streaming, viewing, and you can make an example. And so, if you're teaching during the interview process, they can ask you to teach a year 3 class. And you know, a year 3 class, they're from the ages 7, 7, 6, 7, 8, thereabout. You need to be fast to understand the type of material or contents or song or story or book, the level at which your content that you're going to use for that interview matters. That level matters. So you can't be giving a year 3 child alphabets to do. You can't be giving a year 3 child 1 to 10 to do. You need to make it fun. You need to introduce. I'm going to take this on another live where I show you how to get into character, because when I had mine, I had to basically get into character. I wasn't given time to prepare, right? But they're going to tell you, you're going to read up, you're going to watch YouTube videos of how people had their interviews. So it is left for you to choose what you want to do. So in my case, I sang a song. I made the song on the spot, and I taught the class for like 5, 10 minutes. And I think we took turns. Yeah, you're going to place you in a group of 5, a group of people, and then those people are the people you're going to do your interview with, and they're going to be listening to you, and you're going to be listening to them. So everyone is going to be on the spot. So it's okay if you start teaching and you have a freeze, right? It is okay. It is fine. You just need to continue and continue strong, right? To be honest, this thing is a competition. Let me not scare you. It is not a tough competition. You just need to be confident about yourself. You just need to have faith that it's going to work, and it's going to work. So, for those people joining me on my live, I'm talking about dispatch companies that are offering teaching opportunities in Japan. Yeah, so I was talking about, enunciating, inflecting, picking your words, not rushing over your words. They're very, very important. You being creative so you can role play when you're teaching during that interview. By role play, I mean you can act as a character in a story. Talk about the title of that story. Talk about why you're linking that story, that song, that's jingle, whatever you choose to do with the title of your class, right? You have to have reasons why you're doing whatever, and you have limited time. So go ahead. Even if you make a mistake, please go ahead, because what they're looking for is someone who is bold, someone who is confident, really. They're not really looking for a perfect person, if I will say so myself. So if you're looking for that perfect opportunity, if you're looking for, oh, a smooth class, it has to be perfect, you're just going to put yourself on the spot. You're just going to ruin the whole mojo, right? So what you need to do is ensure that you're confident about your class. Again, welcome to my live. This is Kaki's vlog. If you've not subscribed to my channel, this is the time to do so. Subscribe, like, share, turn on post notifications. I will be having, active lives every now and then to help people, familiarize people with dispatch companies in Japan that are offering teaching opportunities in Japan. So if you're interested, you like Japan, you like their language, their culture, maybe you should read up on, the country, read up on the provinces, and read up on, their way of life, their foods, the children, the people, their festivals. Try to acclimatize yourself, with the country, and then just prepare your mind that, okay, I want to take this leap, I want to do this, and yes, once you get that opportunity and you've scaled your interview, there will be correspondence where, they will take you through language training. They're training you on how to speak, how to greet, basic, simple felicitations, salutations, and the simple ones, really. And they will teach you about their numbers, 1 to 1,000. It's quite tricky because when I was learning mine, I learned 1 to 1,000. I learned it, but let me tell you, it's not easy. I've forgotten it, by the way, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I think it's a tricky language. It was a tricky language. What were we learning? We were learning. There's a writing. There's a way they write. There's a way they write. I've forgotten the name now, but that's the way you're going to be writing. That's the way you're going to be learning, right? There are videos, there are audio clips, there are lots of resources that they will help you with to bring you up to speed so that, they're not just going to leave you once you get the job opportunity. They will tell you how much you're going to earn, and you need to have a month's worth of funding, because once you get there, you're going to be staying in an accommodation and you have to cater for yourself. So, yeah, have that piece of information ready. What else now? What else? Yes, they'll be teaching you about their festivals, their weather, their culture, their practices, their history, things like that. And so you also have to bring your authentic self to the country. It is very important that you know who you are. So wherever you're coming from, if you're coming from Africa, if you're coming from the Caribbeans, if you're coming from Australia, whatever part of the world you're coming from, really, you need to bring your authentic self. You need to be open minded to learning and unlearning. One of the takeaways I had from the orientations that we had was how secure Japan is. Literally, you can leave your bicycle on the streets and come back the next day and find that bicycle there. You can leave it unlocked, unchained. You come back the next day and you're going to meet it there. It is so cool. Like, it is fantastic. And they weren't just telling us this because, oh, it's their country. This is real. This is happening. Like, it's really safe and peaceful and all of that. So basically, the live is just to prepare your minds for as many people that are interested in moving. Like, just go on to Google, go on your phone, type BORDERLINK. It's a dispatch company, and they'll readily, avail you of the opportunities or whatever information you're trying to get. I think after that, the whole training and orientation, they will also send for your medicals. You need to get your medicals, and then they will send you your it's like a proof that you're working for the Ministry of Education. They will send it to you, and then you have to take it to your embassy. You'll be granted a visa, and voila, you're good to go. You see, this whole process has been summarized under 25 minutes, but it takes a year for everything to naturalize or come to pass, right? So you have a lot of work to do, but the most important work to do is to ace that interview. The most important thing to do is to ace that interview. Once you ace your interview, you're good to go, really. You are good to go. And there are very many opportunities that are bound. If you're with a dispatch company for a year, because they're going to also ask you, do you want to be with them for a year? Do you want to renew your contract? You also be under probation, but it's always a year. So it's now left for you to say, okay, you know what? I want to renew my contract. There are many people who have renewed their contracts, and there are many people who have also moved from this dispatch company to another dispatch company, or they've moved from this dispatch company onto, schools, working personally with schools. They are no longer under any dispatch company. So if it's left for you to choose, the opportunity also avails you to bring your family. Last I checked, I don't know about today, but I'm going to do my research. So if you have a family, you have, a husband, you have children, whoever you are, this is something you can discuss with them, and they will make provisions for you and your family. So I think with these few points of mine, I should have been able to convince you and not confuse you that yes, there are teaching opportunities that are available by these dispatch companies. It is left for you to do your findings, it is left for you to do your research and see which one will favor you. There are many people that have worked with these dispatch companies, and there are many people who have testimonials, have reviews, have feedback. So it is very important to listen to them. It's very important to read a lot and then make your decision. And it's also good not to put your eggs in just one basket in case, that basket indeed starts, leaking or having a hole. So thanks for joining me on my life once again. And lastly, I was talking about teaching opportunities in Japan, and I was talking about this dispatch company that can help you get a job, a teaching job in Japan. It is called Borderlink. Borderlink. 3 syllables. Borderlink. So type on it, read the instructions, apply. A mail will be sent to you. Try to pass and ace your interview, and then the rest, they say, is history. Remember the tidbits that I shared. You need to be audible when you're talking during your interview. You need to speak clearly and fluently. You also need to enunciate and inflect. So, inflection basically means you're going high and you're going low. If I'm reading a comprehension passage and I go, the boy leaped over the wall, right? I have inflected by saying wall. I didn't say the boy leaped over the wall. I said the boy leaped over the wall. I inflected. So little things like this can help you score a few points here and there. You might see it as nothing, but it is a lot. It is a lot for you to, be very, very careful with how you speak, with how you teach on the spot. Like I said, it's your choice if you want to teach on the spot, if you want to, they'll give you time to prepare for your on the spot assessment. So it's left for you to teach on the spot. They can give you any topic. You choose the topic you want to teach, and then you teach. It can be scary, but it is achievable, it is doable. And of course, there'll be a group of people like yourself who will be listening to you, who will be taking notes from you, and you also be taking notes from them. So it's a learning opportunity. And it is also not good to be an island. So when they add you to the group, right, you need to reach out to those people you see on Skype. It is not good to be an island, because there are people who know better than you. There are people who are smarter. There are people who are more proactive than you. So when they add you, it is not that time for you to be an island. Reach out to them. There are people who are going to snub you. That's fine. That's all right. But you're not a fool because you know you want to achieve something. You know that you want something. You reach out to them on Skype. Have a Skype account. I mentioned that. Have a Skype account. Ensure that you know how to use Skype. Ensure that you set your time to the time of Japan so that when it's time for the interview, that's not the time you'll be sleeping. If you don't have lights, I'm begging you, if you don't have lights, God will provide for you. Get some money, put on that gen. Even if it means you passing the night in your friend's house, put money in that gen, right? Put the lights. Make sure that the noise of the gen is not getting into your room. Try what you can. See, the price for success or the price for growth is really costly. And if you want to achieve it, I remember the night I did my interview, we didn't have light in Nigeria and I had to use the gen. When was this? When was it? It was in the middle of the night I had my interview. It was in the middle of the night I had my interview and there was no light. So I turned on the gen. The noise of the gen was getting generator, that's what I mean, was getting into the house. What I did was I shut the door of my room, closed the curtains, I padded the door with extra clothes, and then I just stayed in a confined space and prayed to God that the noise of the gen did not filter in. But there's no how it will filter in. And so I increased the volume of the laptop. I didn't have, yes, I used the laptop. And then, I had my phone. My phone had Skype. So in case my phone died, I will use my laptop. Or in case my laptop died, I'll use my phone. Like, be ready. You shouldn't have any excuses. Then have internet connection. Look for the best internet provider and use that internet connection. I'm saying this because I don't know who's going to watch this video. I don't know where this video is going to go. I don't know where this live stream is going to go. Whoever is watching this, and you know that there are certain situations that are peculiar to your country. I know my country, my beloved country, Nigeria, we are special people and we do not have light all the time. 2024, our leaders are not doing the needful. May God have mercy on them. So you know that in some countries, light is an issue, internet service is an issue. There's no readily accessible Wi-Fi. Try to get these things for your interview. It is important because you don't want to be having an interview and then you go off and the person that is interviewing you on the other line is saying, hello, can you hear me? And they're like, is this person okay? Are you serious? Don't miss such opportunities. It shouldn't even be an excuse. Oh, we did not have light. Oh, we did not have internet. Excuse me. These are people that you're going to be transacting with, communicating with, corresponding with for a year. For a year. You're going to be talking to these people for a year. I want tell me internet. Don't do that. Don't do that. I remember when I started this YouTube journey, right? I would leave my house in Lagos and go to Ogun State. I would leave my house in Lagos and go to Ogun State. Why? Because the place I was going to, my friend's house, there was no noise. There was literally no noise. You can go years and years and years in that city, there's no noise. They never took light one day. There was internet service. Everything was smooth. So I knew what I wanted to achieve. What I want to achieve. I wanted something that when it comes out, it will not look as if, oh, look at the background. No, you don't want to be shooting a video. You don't want to be shooting content. And one lorry, one tractor, people are just shouting your whole video with your good content and good preparation, good English. Everything is just papas. You don't want to do that. It's the same thing with applying for this job interview, really. So for all the people that have just joined my life, I'm going to repeat and refresh what I've said. This video or this live is basically preparing you for opportunity to teach in Japan. And the name of this dispatch company, like I said, is Borderlink. By Borderlink, I mean Borderlink. Type it out on your laptop, type it out on your phone. It has a green logo. You will see it's affiliated to Japan. It will give you, it's Borderlink is a dispatch company. And what they do basically as a dispatch company is to dispatch teachers to schools, primary schools, high schools, I think universities as well. I'm not sure, but I think they do the whole thing. So basically, it's very straightforward, to be honest, very straightforward. And that's why I don't know why a lot of people are sleeping on this opportunity. I do not know why. I do not know why, really, why people are sleeping on this opportunity. Go to that site, literally go there, read every single piece of information you find there. When you go through that website and you read the information, it will give you instructions to apply. It will tell you the time, they're accepting applications, applications are open, etc, etc. Apply. Apply. I remember when I was applying for a friend, I used my phone. Shared the screen of my phone. She could see what I was doing and she applied. So it's quite straightforward. When you apply, you send your details, be truthful with your details, right? If you don't have a master's, don't say you have a master's. If you don't have a PGC, don't say you have a PGC. If you don't have a PhD, don't say you have a PhD. Just be truthful. I mean, like, if you're going to get in, you'll get in. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work, right? You leave this one and you pursue other, opportunities. That's how life is. Yeah. So once you submit your application, you get an email telling you they've received your application and they will give you times to choose for an interview. You choose a suitable time for your interview. Note again, do your conversion when it comes to the times, right? Make sure that the time you are selecting for your interview is a time that the time difference with Japan is at an equilibrium, in the sense that you are not choosing a time when you know you're in traffic, you're going to be in traffic, or you know you're going to be at work, at a meeting, or in a class, and you cannot make that interview. Choose a suitable time to attend the interview. And during the interview, you're going to be asked personal questions. What do you do? What are your qualifications? Tell me more about yourself. What are your interests? Why do you think you're going to be the best fit for this job? Are you what's your opinion about teaching? Things like that. Talk about yourself, talk about your skill set, talk about what you've achieved. And that's why it's very important for people to volunteer. When you have leave, when you have time, volunteer with organizations like the orphanage, charities. Volunteer. There are volunteer organizations everywhere in the world. Volunteer with organizations, build experience. You can volunteer as a project manager, you can volunteer as a customer service rep, you can volunteer as whatever. And when you volunteer, you're building experience. You're not just sharing your talents and your skills, you're also building experience for yourself. So during the interview stage, they're going to ask you these questions. Use that as an opportunity to sell yourself. Use that as an opportunity to let them know who you are, your skill set, all those things. After that, they're going to tell you that you'll hear from them, blah, blah, blah. And then you get your mail. Oh, congratulations, you've passed your interview, blah, blah, blah. And then just keep that channel open for further correspondence, etc, etc. And like I said, it takes a whole year for you guys to finally move to Japan, there is opportunity for you to move with your family, get your international passport. If you don't have an international passport, try to get one. Try to get one, really. So yeah, that's basically it. I will be sharing another live session where I will talk about other dispatch companies, and I'm going to be comparing them before I go ahead to shoot the video where I talk about, the application process, registration process, do's and don'ts, and information you need basically to ace your interview. It's not going to be so much of a difference from what I've said here, but I mean, it's going to be as comprehensive as this. Well, I have come to the end of this live. Yeah, I hope this information was enlightening and impactful. And if you're interested, just give it a try. And good luck. I wish you all the good success. You're going to need it. Bye.